Are we ready to rock and roll? Awesome. Okay. Super cool. Thanks, Fleur. What was that Shiver one? Couldn't see you. But thanks, whoever that was. Um, okay, guys. So we're going to start in a kneeling position, a high kneeling position. So if you need a pillow, we're going to be kneeling for a good amount of time. So, if that back knee does need a little bit of support, just go for it because we will be here for a while. Okay? Cool. Welcome. All right, so just go ahead and grab yourself something that resembles this. You can even use a top, something that you can just hold onto in the air. Okay? So either a belt, a dog lead, a towel, um, literally anything like that you can hold on to. All right, guys, so we're in a half kneeling position or kneeling position, and I'm taking my arms up towards the sky. Cool. From here, I want you to start to slowly tip yourself over towards the left hand side, pulling your left arm down if you've got something to pull into. If you don't, you're just going to tip to the side and then slowly come over to the other side. Nice. If you don't have anything to hold on to, you don't have anything at home, you can always just take your hands behind your head and you can just slowly tip from side to side with your elbows reaching east and west. Yeah? So this tiny little movement that we're doing, I want you to start to check in a little bit more on your pelvic positioning. So as I come over to the left hand side, I want to make sure that my bum doesn't poke over in a counterbalance to compensate for my movements. I want to keep my pelvis really solid underneath me as I slowly wave my body, my upper body, from side to side. Going for 4. Good, and 3. Nice, pretty gentle, nothing too big, nothing too hectic to begin with. 2, and last one. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Let the arms come down. Shake it out. Beautiful. We're going to take the arms up, either with your belt or whatever you're holding on to. I want you to squeeze your bum, especially your left bum cheek, and I want you to lift your heart up towards the sky. Good. If your shoulders are okay and if you're holding onto something that's nice and broad and open, see if you can let your arms travel back. Maybe you'll even be able to tap your hands or tap your band onto your bum and bring it forward. And we're going to round over an imaginary beach ball, flexing our spine forward. Good. So you're going to reach the arms up, take them back. My heart is lifting to the ceiling as my hands reach down towards the floor. Take the arms up and forwards, round over an imaginary beach ball. Guys, keep going, and I just want to show you what I want you to not do in your pelvis as you come forward. So as you come forward, I want you to avoid pulling your bum back like that, okay? So my spine is not staying straight as I come forward. My spine is rounding. So try and get a rounding sensation into the spine. Try and get a lifting of the heart and an opening of the upper back. Good. Last 2 here. Pinky toe stays on the mat of that back foot. And lift. And last time, take it down. Good. And up. Beautiful. And then bring it to center. Very nice. From here, I'm going to take my arms out in front. I'm going to press my pelvis forward and down as I reach my arms up. And then I'm going to take my arms down as I bring my pelvis back. So just from the side, so you can see I'm pressing my pelvis forward and down as my arms come up. And I'm going to bring myself back up, arms come forward. Going for 4 more. Maybe exhaling on the way down, inhaling on the way up. And 3. And back. And 2. Welcome. I think, is it Aaron who just joined there? Aaron, grab yourself a belt, a theraband, a dog lead, something to hold on to. Last one. Good. And then bring it back to center. Nice. Now take your front leg, step it out to the side. So right leg out to the right hand side. Good. From here, look at your foot. Turn your toes up towards the sky. If I turn my toes up towards the sky, my hip is externally rotated. Okay? If I turn my toes down towards the floor and put my sole of my foot flat, my hip joint is internally rotated. Do that one more time with me. Toes up towards the sky. My hip is externally rotated. Toes down, flat foot, my hip is internally rotated. So we're keeping an internal rotation of the hip. Now that hip, send it forward. Okay, so I'm not going to let my pelvis twist towards that side, but I want to square my pelvis to you. Okay, so straight out in front. My left butt cheek is not just an innocent bystander. I'm squeezing it. And as soon as I squeeze my left butt cheek, my whole pelvis can shift forward. Okay, and then I want to try and maintain that. So bam, locked in space. Cool. Take whatever you're holding on to. Okay, if you don't have anything to hold on to, you can take your hands behind your head. But from here, I'm going to start to play around with leaning into this direction here. So I'm going to come up, up, and over towards my left, not all the way down, and then bring it back through center, but I'm going to go all the way into the opposite direction. Okay, so reaching all the way into the opposite direction. Come up, up, and over to your left. We're not going all the way, but I want you to reach through that right arm. Reach the right arm long. Reach the right arm long. Push your right foot into the floor. Squeeze your left glute. Bring it back. All the way to the other side. Okay, guys, keep kind of flirting with this, all right? So when I move, I'm trying not to lose my stable base. Okay, that we created in the beginning. So squeeze into that left glute. Once you start to feel pretty happy, maybe you can start to play around with going a little bit deeper towards that left hand side. So maybe getting a straight line from your right hand to your right foot, bringing yourself back up all the way over to the left. When I come into this straight line here, I'm not back bending, so I'm closing my rib cage in relation to my pelvis. Last 3. Don't lose the squeeze of that left glute. 2. In fact, the glute squeeze on the left is what's helping me get all the way over to that side. And 1. Bring it to center. Let the arms come down. Beautiful. Shake it out. Keep that leg long. You're going to rotate your upper body towards the long leg side. Yeah, rotate. And then rotate the opposite direction. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades down. Rotate your spine towards the long leg side. Rotate your spine the other way. Seems pretty simple, but can you still feel the pinky toe of your left foot on the ground? Okay, keep rotating from your waist. I think belly button is kind of leading the way as you twist. From belly button up to twist. And 1. And twist. Very nice. Now, place the band and your hands down on the mat, on the ground for a moment. Yeah, push the floor away. And you're going to forget about whatever you're holding on to. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Good. Take your right arm down. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Still feeling the pinky toe of that left foot on the mat. And take it down. And left arm up. And take it down. And right arm up. And take it down. Beautiful. Now this is a little bit of a strange one coming your way. Grab a hold of your band, whatever you're holding on to again. Come on up. Look at your long leg foot. Turn the toes up towards the sky. From here, I want to square my hips towards my foot. So I'm going to pivot on my back knee so that my hips are square and my long leg is nice and straight. Toes are drawing up towards my kneecap. This might take a few seconds for you to get into position here, but I just want you to be 100% sure that your hips are pointing straight in front. So one hip is not open out to the side. Okay? You might notice like, whoa, a little bit of balance happening here. Squeeze into the bent knees, glute. Squeeze it, squeeze it. Push that long leg's foot heel into the ground. Squeeze your kneecap up so this long leg is nice and strong. Okay? With whatever you're holding on to, reach your arms up, up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing into your left glute. And from here, we're going to bow down to our right shin, coming up and over that imaginary beach ball again. Hinge it forward, or at least round into the spine. Come forward. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Good. You're coming up and over a beach ball. So the front of your rib cage is pulling through your body. It's almost as if somebody was trying to punch you in the chest. Terrible analogy, really. But it's that idea of I'm scooping out through the front line of my body so that I can round over, round into my spine, and come up. Go for 2 more here. Try and keep the pinky toe of the back foot on the mat. Guys, this is a challenging thing to do because there's so much going on. Last time. Come down. And bring it up. Beautiful. All right. Pivot. Face center again. Shake out your booty. Well done. It just started belting down here. So it's probably why my lighting's gone all dark. But anyway. All right. Left foot out in front. Right foot back behind. Yeah? Stable pelvis. So we're going to squeeze into that right glute. Lengthen into the lower back. Reach your arms up. Slowly start to sway your upper body from side to side. Don't go too big, because I want you guys, again, rather to make sure that your pelvis is staying nice and steady underneath you and your rib cage is moving. So if you can monitor your movement, just make sure that your front knee isn't caving in. You can still feel the toes of your back foot on the floor, even pinky toe, probably the most important one to feel. If you've got a stretchy band that you're working with, then you can pull down. Oh, thanks. Is that better? Hello. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dave. Okay, guys, swaying from side to side here. Going for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Coming to center. Squeeze into your right glute. We're going to lift our heart. Lift. Think about a straight line from your sternum to your pubic bone. Lift. And then maybe open up your shoulders. Start to take your arms all the way back Don't force it though, yeah? So find your maximum range for your shoulders. Come up, up, up and forward. Again, somebody kind of winding you almost. Rounding forward over in an imaginary beach ball. And then come up. Lift your heart. Open up the shoulders at the front. Reach the arms back. Keep the lower back long. Keep squeezing into your right glute. Okay, come up, up, up and over an imaginary beach ball. Let's go for 2 more here. Lift the heart. Open the shoulders. Take it back. Squeeze into that right glute. It's going to help you keep the lower back long. Last time. Come down. And up. Open, open, open. Good. And back to center. Really, really nice. Just shake it out. Okay, holding onto your band. You're going to send your hips forward. Reach the arms up. I am quite a fan of allowing the knee to go past the toes as long as the knee is in line with that second toe. So allow your knee to go past the toes. Feel a little bit of a stretch in the ankle and then bring it back up. Send the pelvis forward and down. Going for 5. And back. And 4. Good. And back. And 3. Can you still feel pinky toe of back foot on the floor? 2. And back, guys. Last time. And back. Well done. Okay. From here, we're taking left leg out to the left hand side. Look at your foot. We're going to externally rotate through the hip, toes point up. Internally rotate through the hip, toes point down. One more time. Externally rotate through your hip. Internally rotate through the hip, toes point down. I'm flattening my foot on the floor and I'm trying to root down through the pinky toe edge of my foot. So you might even get a stretch over the outside of the ankle there. Really, really feel that. Well done. I'm going to square my hips to you guys. So I'm not going to let my hips go off kilter. Square it forward. Squeeze into that right glute. So try and maintain that right glute squeeze. Well done. Last little cue here for the lower body. Right pinky toe. Try and feel that on the mat. Reach it up. Okay, just flirt with it. Maintaining the lower body is more important than going super far into the side bend. But start to see, can I come up and over to the right? Good, and then up and all the way over to the left. Reach the right arm up. If you're holding something stretchy, you can pull the left arm down. Squeeze your right glute, send the hip forward, and then come up. Side bend. Good. Think about reaching for the top right-hand corner of the wall, so where the wall and the roof meet. So we're reaching to the side of the room. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Coming up. Yet if it's feeling good, you can start to think about taking that reach to the side a little bit deeper. Think about lengthening through the spine as you come into that side bend. And then down. Last 3. So in these positions, guys, you might notice a few new sensations like burns in the hip or burns in certain places where you're like, why is this so hard to maintain? Why is it so hard to hold? We're working into our stabilizers quite profoundly right now. Okay, last time. Last time. And then slowly bring it back. Well done. Great job. Arms come down. Take a moment before we come into those rotational movements. So again, stable through the base, stable through the pelvis. reach the arms forward and then squeeze the shoulder blades down. So imagine you had a stick, like a firm or piece of steel, a steel rod in your hands, and you wanted to break or try and break that piece of steel in half. Imagine trying to do that and use that to initiate the squeezing of the shoulder blades down. Okay, maybe that helps. From here, rotate towards the long leg side, and then rotate away. Rotate towards the long leg side. As you rotate, think about lengthening up towards the sky. And then rotate away. Good. Rotate so your upper body is kind of like you're wringing out a wet cloth. You're wringing yourself out. Last two. Last one. And then bring it back to center. Great job. Placing the band on the floor, hands on the ground. Okay. From this position, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Take a big inhale here. And exhale, take it down. Right arm up. And rotate, take it down. Try and keep your shoulders above your wrists here. So I'm not letting my bum pull back towards the wall behind me. It's going to be tempting, especially if you're tight in your inner thighs, and especially on that right arm lift. But try your best to keep your body weight forward. Let's go for 2 more on each side. So using the power of the shoulders to push the floor away on your stabilizing arm. Last one each side. And final one. And back to center. Beautiful. Okay, grab your band. Last time in this position. This is where we do that weird pivot thing. So I'm going to turn the toes of my left foot up, and then I'm going to shift and pivot on my back knee so that my hips are pointing the same direction. Might need a second here just to adjust, and obviously use your pillows. Okay, my knees don't feel anything anymore at this stage. Alright, so in this position you might feel a little bit wobbly, a little bit off balance. That's normal. But the way that you're going to adjust that and help yourself out is to squeeze into the right glute, send the hip forward. So don't let the bum break and pull back. Squeeze the hip forward, squeeze the muscles of the left leg, push the left heel into the earth, draw the toes up towards your face. Nice. Alright, so once you've got that, we're going to reach our arms up with the band. Lift the heart, lift the heart, lift the heart. As you lift the heart, push your right shin through the floor. Squeeze your right glute, lift the heart. And then coming up over that beach ball again. So my hips are not going to shift back, but I'm going to reach my heart, my sternum forward, bow down towards my left shin. And then come up. Lift the heart, press the right shin through the floor, squeeze the right glute, draw your navel in as you round your spine forward, come down. Last 2. And with this, for me and my body, one side is so much more stable than the other. At least some days it feels like that. Last time. Good, and down. Phenomenal. Okay, in any way humanly possible to you, just take your left foot back. Well done. And guys, we're going to come up into standing from here. Ooh, shake out those legs. Wow. Okay, so up in your standing position, I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider than hip width distance and externally rotate just a little bit. Okay. You're welcome to soft bend into your knees. Just watch that you're not like kind of hyperextending into those knee joints. A little soft bend is okay. Reach your arms up. So my arms are out the screen, but I'm just holding them like that and reaching them up towards the sky. Lengthen your tailbone down. Squeeze your booty, and we're going to come up and over towards the left. Hold it for a second here and just notice, okay, am I compressing down into my right side, into my left side, sorry, or can I lift out of the left side of my waist? See if you can just find even 0.5 millimeter of space on the left side of your waist. Reach up a little bit more through that right arm, and then come back through center. Imagine you're going up and over a mountain to the right. Pause. Lift out of the right hand side of your waist. See, can I pull my rib cage up towards the sky a little more to get more space on that right hand side? Bring it back through center. Good. We're going to go for 2 more on each side. Squeeze your bum. And I say that because I lose it every time. I forget to get that pelvis nice and sturdy underneath me. Lift through the left side body. Lift, 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 and then bring it back. Up and over to your right. Pause. Try not to scrunch down on that right waist. Lift out of the right side of your body. Back to center. One more time. Coming up and over. Lift out of that left side body. Back through center. Last time. To the right. Pause. Lift out of the right side body. Push the feet through the floor and come back to center. Good. Arms down. Well done. Really, really nice. Shake it out. Hopefully we're all right. So from here, feet are in the perfect position. We're going to slowly bend into those knees. As you bend into the knees, maybe widen your stance just a little bit so you can start to feel a sumo squat position. So we're going to come down into sumo and then come all the way back up. Don't go crazy deep just yet, okay? So start to just navigate your way down into a sumo. So when I come into a sumo squat, my tendency is to dump into the big toe edges of my feet. But I want you to squeeze your bum. Use your booty to think about knees opening east and west, to root down through the pinky toes, and then come up. Okay? Band is kind of irrelevant here, so you can just hold on to it. You can get rid of it, whatever you want. I'm going to hold on to it and reach it forward as a counterbalance. Keep going. 6. As I come down, I'm thinking about my sitting bones widening. So my pelvis opening. Last 3. Press into the pinky toes. 2. Okay, last one. Hold it down, my friends. Take it down and hold. I'm going to pulse the knees out to the side. So I'm going to drop the band. I want to think about my knees going out. Out. As I do this, it's my bum squeezing to make that happen. Pull the knees apart. 9, 8, 7. Push your pinky toes into the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. Heel toe your feet in towards one another. Shake it out. Really, really, really well done. So while you're in standing, take your feet parallel hip width distance. Almost lost track of time. Take your feet parallel hip width distance. We're going to shift our weight into our right foot. All right. Once you feel that, try and equalize your weight distribution into the foot. So I'm not dumping down to the big toe edge. I can feel my toes, I can feel my heel, I can feel my pinky toe. And then I'm going to take my left leg out to the side. Cool. One thing I see all the time, guys, is as soon as we shift weight into one side, this happens. So get your head on top of your pelvis. Okay, you can even copy me and do this. And we're going to see if we can take the left leg out to the side. My left leg is internally rotated. Do you remember that? Toes pointing down. Our natural tendency is going to be to want to let the toes point up and the knee point up towards the ceiling. Don't do that. If you can, internally rotate, slice up with the pinky toe leading the way. Good. Now I'll start counting from here. Let's go for 10. 9. 8. I'm not hyperextending through my left leg, through my right leg. 7. 6. I've actually got a little soft bend. 5. 4. 3. 2. Okay, now try and hold it at the top. Pulse it up at that top range. 10. 9. 8. Find your tummy. 7. 6. Don't lean back. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Step it over to the left. Okay, take a second. Root down into that left foot. Soft bend into the left knee. Okay, so we're not hyperextending. Head on top of pelvis. I'm just going to do that. It's like that funny thing where you have to like tap and rub the tummy at the same time. Okay, so close the ribs. Lengthen into your tail. Soften the shoulders. Internally rotate this leg. And you're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good. We got it? Let's start counting. 10. 9. 8. 7. Good. Keep slicing up with the pinky toe leading. 5. Head on top of pelvis. So I'm not letting that happen. 4. 3. 2. Okay, this is the holder. Last one, lift and hold. Pulse up. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. You can do it. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Step it down. Well done. Shake it out. Okay, guys. So let's come down onto the mat again. Hips should be nice and warm. Okay, upper body should be kind of warm as well. And we've done quite a nice little bit of rotation. We're going to come into some weight bearing for the wrists, and hopefully build it up into something a little bit side planky, but we'll see how we get on. All right, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Look at your fingers, and I want you to start to walk your fingers out to the side, starting to turn your palms, turning your wrists, so that your fingers, maybe if you've got the mobility, end up pointing towards your knees, and then start to turn the wrists, turn the fingers back to your starting position, maybe even turning them in the way till they point towards one another. So essentially, your fingers, your hands are turning 360 degrees. Yeah, keep on going, shifting weight from shoulder to shoulder. Keep going, keep going. Let's go for one more revolution. And then when you're kind of turning those fingers towards your knees, end at your end range. So you're going to say to yourself, okay, is it possible for me to get my fingers to point back towards my knees? If the answer is no, get as close as you can, pain-free. Okay? No pain here, please. All right, so let's say that you're not able to get the fingers to point to the knees, which is super, super normal. Let's say your fingers are pointing more towards the left and the right edges of your mat. Look at your look at your middle fingers. That's where you're going to start to lean your weight into. So gently start to lean along that line of your middle finger to the left side, lean to the right along the line of the middle finger. So that's kind of where you're directing your forearms, kind of lean, okay? Cool. So you're going to just play with that. I want you to feel a stretch in your forearms. For those of you that are able to get your fingers to point back towards your knees, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to you're going to lean back, pulling your bum towards your heels, kind of in the line of your middle finger trajectory, and then slowly bring yourself back. This stretch is a little bit deeper, I'd say. Try and keep your pinky fingers on the mat. Then maybe you can lift your thumbs away from the mat as you do this. It's quite a deep stretch for the wrists. Let's go for 6. Please listen to the it's not a fragile joint by any means, but just listen to these muscles, because we use them so much, don't we? Every time you pick up your phone, every time you type an email, every time you use your hands, these muscles are working a lot. Last 2. And last time. Beautiful. Slowly bring it back. We're not going to vigorously shake them out, but just slowly peel your hands away from the floor and just kind of, I don't know, floppy shake. Really gentle floppy shake. Give yourself maybe a little bit of a massage there. If it was a bit profound, just press your thumb into the soft bit of the front of your forearm. Okay. All right, well done. Stretching the other side of the forearm real quick. So we're going to take our fists. We'll make a nice strong fist. Thumbs on the outside of the fist. Bring the back of your fists towards one another, or the top of your fists towards one another. Take the back of your forearms onto the ground. Okay, don't lose the fists. Keep your fists super tight. Squeeze your fists, squeeze your fists, squeeze them tight, tight, tight. Squeeze your fists, squeeze your fists. Good. Now keep that. And then you're going to try and lift your elbows away from the floor and get the elbows as straight as you feel you can. You might feel a stretch at the back of your forearm now. And then slowly take it down. And lift. And take it down. So you can choose your positioning here. You can keep your bum all the way back on your heels. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your body weight slightly more forward. So you lift your bum off of the heels. It's like a teeny tiny little change. Anyway, 3. Keep squeezing the fists nice and tight. 2, keeping the back of the hands on the mat, keeping the tops of the fists touching. 2. And last time. So good. Release it gently. Gently shake out the hands. And we're coming back onto all fours. Okay. Hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Okay. Cool. From here, we're going to reach our left arm. Sorry, it's actually my right arm. So you can just mirror me. Reach it up towards the sky. Quite a familiar position for us. But see if you can keep your right pinky toe on the mat. And then take your right hand down, straight over to the left hand side. Keep your fingers nice and active. Keep pushing the floor away through the shoulder, all the way down through the wrist. And let's rotate. Let's go for 6. Good. And 5. So notice this rotation. 4. 3. Really reach. 2. 1. Awesome. Both hands onto the mat. We're going to tuck our toes under and we're coming into downward facing dog. Haha, first time here today. Take 5 breaths to get used to your down dog. Feel your hands, feel the fingertips claw into the earth. Index finger mounds pressing into the floor. Pointy bits of the back of the elbows gently wrap down towards the mat so you're not flaring them left and right. Push the floor away through the heels of the hands. Lengthen through the lower back and lift. Puff the heart to the sky. Relax the head. And pedal out the heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring your feet to stillness. Bend into your knees and give your knees a nice generous bend. Lengthen into the lower back so your belly button is not collapsing towards the earth. Your belly button is lifting to the sky. Nice. Now from this position, guys, you're going to allow your feet, your heels, to pivot towards the left. So both of my heels pivot towards the left, which means my right foot can go flat to the mat. Right side body gets a big stretch. You'll feel more weight into that left shoulder. So can you wrap your left shoulder blade underneath you on that side body, squeezing the left shoulder blade down. Bring your heels, your feet back to center. And heels pivot over to the right. Left foot goes flat onto the mat. Squeeze your right shoulder blade underneath you. Feel the stretch on the left side body. Let's go one more time each side, bringing the feet to center. Heels pivot to the left, which means right foot should be able to go flat. Allow the knees to bend here. Squeeze your left shoulder blade underneath you. So really wrap it down. Feel its support over the left side of your rib cage. Last time to the right with those heels. Pivot over. Or last time for now. Squeeze your right shoulder blade underneath you. So feel that shoulder blade wrap literally to the right side of your rib cage. And then bring your body back to center. Lower the knees down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Sit your booty back onto your heels. And pause in your shell. If you're like me, I really enjoy taking my hands to my feet in a shell stretch, especially after they've been overhead for so long. So if that feels good to you, please go there. I want you to take at least 5 breaths here. Tuning into your heartbeat, tuning into any areas of tension, any areas of stress that might seem to have built up. See if you can soften something in your body. See if you can visualize and feel the breath travel all the way down into your tummy. Can you feel the breath expand between your shoulder blades as you inhale? And can you feel it expand into your tummy on that inhale as well? Can you feel the breath expand into your pelvic floor on the inhale? Last breath here. We're coming back into down dog after this, but try and keep this nice chilled out state, okay? Nice and slow. Bring your hands back to the mat, onto all fours. Nice and easy. Wrap the elbows back so they're pointing towards your knees. Tuck the toes under. Come up into your down dog. Nothing can faze you. Staying nice and chilled. Pedaling out the heels here for 5. And 4. Rooting through the strong foundations of your hands. 3. 2. Relaxing the neck. And 1. Bring the feet to stillness. Bend generously into the knees. Let both heels pivot over to the left. Right foot flat. Pause. From here, see if you can bend a little bit deeper into the right knee. Your right heel will lift off of the floor and then start to straighten out the legs a little. So I'm bending my knees a little more. And then I'm straightening them back to the starting position. Last two, bend into the knees, straighten. Last time, bend into the knees and straighten. Good. Pivot. Feet back to the midline to center. Heels now over to the right. Left foot flat. Right shoulder blade wraps underneath you. Bend a little deeper into both knees and straighten. Bend a little deeper into both knees and straighten. Quite a big side body stretch for the left side of the body. Two more big deep bends and straighten. Last time, big deep bend. Straighten. Square off through the feet and tiptoe your feet up towards your hands until you can hang in a forward fold. Come off of the wrists. Beautiful job. Two more breaths here in your forward fold. And on your next exhale, slowly rise up. Good. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Cactus through the arms. And let them hang alongside you. Shake it out. Good job. Okay. We're coming into that downward facing dog one more time. And the pivot of the heels. And I'm going to give you guys the option to come into a side plank. Okay, you don't have to do it, but it's going to come, just so you know. Sometimes it's actually easier than holding that position. All right, so let's come down into our forward fold, bending into our knees. Hands find the mat. All right, wrapping the elbows back. Step one foot back, other foot back, find your down dog. All right, let's start with a pivot of the heels over towards the left-hand side. Okay, so both heels pivot to the left. Nice. All right, bend deeply into the knees. Now, this is going to seem a little strange, but I want you to see if you can get your left foot flat to the mat now. Some of our ankles won't get there. See if you can. Try and root down through that big toe edge of the left foot and pick your right foot up off of the mat. Kind of crazy. Feeling light into that right hand. Squeeze the left shoulder blade down onto your back body. Maybe take your right hand away from the floor. Wobble, 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 wobble. Maybe reach that right arm overhead. Bring your right knee in close towards your body. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your right foot back. Take your right hand back. Try and find down dog again. Well done. So I know that's not a typical side plank, but it's fun to be a bit playful, right? Something that I'm actually trying to master at the moment myself. All right, back into your downward facing dog. Let's pivot both heels now over to the right. Okay, so you might notice that you're tempted to lift your right foot up because your left foot is grounded. See if you can really root down through the big toe edge of your right foot, feeling a stretch through the foot itself. Lift the left foot off of the mat. Bring the knee nice and high. Good. If your balance has it today, if you've got it, see if you can pick your left hand up off of the mat as well. Maybe reach that left arm up in line with the ear. So my right knee is still bent, kind of crazy. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that left foot down. Pivot back into your downward facing dog. Lower the knees and come into a well-deserved shell stretch. Please just make a mental note of how that went for you because I would love to know. But for now, just take your shell. So just so you guys know, I'm doing a yoga teacher training at the moment, and the part of my training that I'm on is to teach that position to people, so we have to practice teaching it. So any feedback would be super, super helpful. Okay, 4 more breaths here in your little shell. See if you can soften something in your body. Maybe the muscles between the shoulder blades. Maybe the muscles in your face. Last 2 breaths. Well done. Bring yourself up. And we're going to lie on our back. A little bit of relaxation to end us off today. Okay, so first time on our back in class. Very well deserved. So coming down onto your back, let's just take one bridge. And you're welcome to do more than one if you feel like one's not enough. But literally just to kind of get the spine nice and aligned. So we're going to bring our feet parallel hip width distance. Pick your pelvis up into your bridge. And super slow journey down. Relax into the shoulder blades. Lower your spine down, thinking about lengthening your spine as you lay it down onto the earth. Well done. Once your tailbone has touched down, hug your knees to the chest and take a rock from side to side. Rocking for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet down to the floor. Hook your right ankle over your left knee. Hug your left thigh in towards you, figure 4 stretch. Again, soften something. Taking maybe a big sigh on your next exhale. Audible sigh is quite profound for the autonomic nervous system to send a signal to say, hey, you can just relax. Sometimes we can really use these simple things to just calm ourselves down. If you can take your stretch a little further, if you want to, you can hook your fingers at the front of your left knee, lengthening through the nape of your neck. Soften something. For me, it's always going to be my shoulders, so try and think about where do I really feel like I'm holding tension right now? Can I soften it a bit? Every exhale, allow your body to feel more supported by the floor. Breathing into the back of the lungs, breathing into the sides. Breathing down into your tummy. Feeling the buoyancy of your breath as you breathe in, and the relaxation and support of the floor on your exhale. Last 2 breaths here. Really relax into the right glute. Well done. Float the left foot back to the floor, right foot back to the floor. Let's hook left ankle over right knee. Hug in the back of the right thigh, interlocking the fingers strongly at that hamstring area at the back of the right leg. Lengthening through the nape of the neck. Soften something. Maybe taking a couple of audible exhales. The nice thing about exercising at home is hopefully you feel free enough to do these kinds of little things that you may not be able to do in a class environment comfortably. Taking one more audible exhale. Maybe interlocking the fingers at the front of the right leg if that's going to work for you. You know, you don't have to take it deeper. And breathing here for 5 more breaths. On every exhale, feeling supported by the floor. On every inhale, feeling buoyant, feeling that expansion of the lungs left and right. Expansion of the lungs back into the earth. Expansion of the belly. For your last 2 breaths, softening to the jaw if you haven't already. Well done. Let your right foot float to the earth. Let your left foot float to the earth. And take a few little windscreen wipes of the knees from side to side. Going for 5. And 4. And 3. 2. And last windscreen wipe. Coming back to center, hug the knees in one last time. And let's roll ourselves up into seated. And my friends, that is you absolutely 100% done. It's kind of crazy how like time flies when you're doing relaxation stuff, but time goes so slowly when you're doing actual like tough stuff. So well done everyone.